Hello everybody and welcome to Joyride episode 5 or episode 3. Today I have a guest star, Gavin Vanna. Hi Gavin, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Kayla.
So Gavin, what do you do in AV?
So in AV, I'm the director for our other show, our skit show, Look My Mom on TV, which is also on the Vandegrift Media Productions YouTube channel. I'd recommend checking it out. We have some stuff coming out soon. But I mainly just direct that, and I also write for it. But yeah, apart from that, I'm just trying to
What about at school? What are you involved in?
At school?
Yeah.
Extracurricular-wise?
Yes.
I am involved in the theater arts. As you can clearly see, we have our show
Promote it.
this week and everything.
Go see Mamma Mia.
Very excited. It's a great production. But I'm mainly involved with theater and just AV as well. But yeah.
Fun. Oh, look, there it is. All right. So the rundown for the show today is we're going to have one movie review for Joker, which Gavin is going to talk about because I have not seen it yet. We're going to do a TV review for The Politician, which I talked about in episode 3 that it was coming out, and I was very excited for it and what I think about it. Then we're going to get into the AMA's nominations that came out this morning, which is the American Music Awards, and our interesting thoughts on the nominations.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting. Can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, and then we'll close out with opening in the box office this weekend and what's coming up next. So, Gavin, this is your time to shine.
Okay.
You saw Joker 2019. When did you see it?
So I saw it last weekend with a friend, and it was it was just I didn't know what I was really getting into. Usually for the most part, I like to have a few minor spoilers here and there, because that's usually what you'll encounter just when checking social media overall. But for this one, I just deliberately tried to stay away from spoilers, because this was a movie I've been excited for a while, because it's a standalone Joker film. We haven't seen that before, and most movie adaptations of the Joker have been pretty interesting, apart from
Jared Leto's Joker, Suicide Squad.
Very interesting. I'm an idea. But I'd say for the most part, Joker was very Joaquin Phoenix as an actor is usually very phenomenal. Have you seen her?
Well, yeah. I've seen her. I've seen some of it. I haven't seen the full movie, but.
But he has this great quality to his acting. In which it's hard to articulate, but it's this interesting childlike quality to it in terms of just the way he'll articulate his speech or his little inflections, especially with the character of Arthur Fleck in the Joker. It's very interesting, dynamic to see, because we haven't really seen a Joker that's been very highly contextualized in this way.
Yeah,
before.
You get the backstory in Suicide Squad for Harley Quinn. And then the Joker comes in.
He's just kind of
he doesn't have where he came from. I mean, I'm pretty sure people know
more.
where he came from, but I think if I'm not wrong, this doesn't go into the whole Gotham
It doesn't it has
Arkham
Gotham as
Asylum
its it has Arkham these are central settings to the story, but they're not as heavily involved in the lore of the Joker. Because usually with the Joker, on a more just character kind of caricature. He's a bit more of a caricature, and he's a little just more the crazy thing about him is that you don't know why he's this chaotic or he wants to wreak havoc on everything. Yeah. But in this film, it really drives home the point of trying to explain that, and it has a lot of really a lot of crazy subject material.
Yeah. Little. Yeah.
But I'd say the soundtrack was good for the most part. They used a little bit of Cream, White Room. They used a lot of Frank Sinatra too, which was really good. It added to I don't know, it was one of those perfect ironic backdrop sort of songs.
Frank Sinatra, that's what they always do, especially Kingsman.
Yeah, sending in the clowns,
Yeah.
But I thought his acting was phenomenal.
Do you think he'll win an Oscar?
I hope so, because it's high time he deserves one.
Do you think the film will be nominated for an Oscar, the film as a whole, or do you think just?
It took in a lot at the box office and everything.
Yeah,
it's
I think it will.
One of the most successful rated R films.
Yeah, I think it will. I've heard a lot of good reviews about it. I haven't heard anything bad. I've read critic scores, but those aren't always the same.
That's true.
But like the Rotten Tomato score last time I talked about was like a 69 around that, but the audience score is an 89. So critics
Like
are
a
obviously
nice
gonna.
20% difference.
Yeah, I mean, what I've heard from everyone that's seen it is it's the best movie they've seen this year with like Endgame and stuff like
I feel
that.
it's gonna be like one of those kind of cult films in the future because it gives off like there's been a lot of parallels drawn already, and I don't want to kind of like not necessarily rip off, but I just don't want to like restate that it's like similar to a lot of Scorsese films like Taxi Driver, like The King of Comedy, especially The King of Comedy. Do you know how like that the two of them just like reflect each other? So
No,
like
but
even with like
it's
Robert
fine.
De Niro and
Yeah.
everything. So in The King of Comedy, he was like the central protagonist who was also kind of like doing what Joker is doing. He was like trying to get on a talk show because he was obsessed with a talk show host. So it's like a little bit interesting because it's like paralleling the two. It's like he's the guy wanting to go on the talk show host in King of Comedy, but in Joker,
He's the
he
talk
wants
show
to be the
host.
talk show, or he is the talk
Yeah.
show host, which is really interesting.
I see.
But also the cinematography, like some of the shots in that film are so amazing.
I love like looking at that. But okay, when I talked about Downton Abbey, I feel like I went too into that part because I loved the movie and I was happy about it. But there was this one shot that I talked about that I didn't want to spoil, but it just didn't match the movie at all. You know when they have that one shot where they try something new and you can tell, and it doesn't match the rest of the aesthetic of the movie. So I always look at stuff like that. Was there anything like that in it?
That's a little bit tough. I feel that like that I might need another like watching for something like that. But at the same time, like that shot of him like dancing on the stairs that everyone's seen, like that's become a huge meme.
Yeah, that
you know?
those stairs are like
Yeah,
an attraction now.
Yeah, did you see the?
Yeah, people
what
were
was it
like
listed
praying for the
as?
Bronx during this time because everyone's going there. I don't know.
I forgot what it was listed as. I think it was like listed as a religious site or something like according like people have.
Oh,
like,
I saw that like
named it and
someone looked
stuff.
it up on Google Maps. You just type in Joker Stairs in New York and it'll come up.
Yeah.
as
so
that,
They
so.
created a culturally iconic sort of
Yeah.
place to be now. But
What would you rate it?
I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
Like the cinematography was amazing. The writing was pretty good. The acting was good. And I felt like at time I wouldn't say it's necessarily like predictable, but like you could understand like it had a very like simple like plot structure, but the characters are the things that like really take it home. And like you don't know what's reality or not.
Yeah,
which is really
that's what I
crazy.
heard. That once you walk out, you're like, still don't know what was true, what wasn't.
That's the thing is that like I don't think I've really been like on an emotion like of course like films will affect me like emotionally and stuff, but I don't think I've left a film feeling like extremely not like extremely nervous, but just like generally nervous. Like what did I just watch?
Yeah. No,
So,
that's how no. There's what movie? There was a movie that came out last year. Oh, no, it was Us. That was this year, wasn't it?
yeah, there's this.
Okay, when I left the theater watching that, I had to like look up so many articles because I had no idea what was going on. I won't spoil it.
I've had
but-
I've had so many friends be like, "Us is the craziest
Have you seen it?
film." I haven't seen it.
It's
so-
crazy. Like it's probably the best horror movie I've ever seen.
Jordan Peele, right?
Mhm.
He's such a good director. Like
I
I thought
know.
Get Out was amazing.
Yeah, Get Out was good. I thought it wasn't gonna top Get Out because I felt like Us was probably more. Like they talked about it more than Get Out. Maybe because it was like his second film and like
so
Get Out
he
was
already
his first.
established himself. With,
Yeah,
like,
so I
Get
thought
Out
it
and
wasn't gonna be good, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
So okay, I haven't seen it yet.
everything.
Joker.
I'd highly recommend it. You
So
gotta go see it.
I probably will see it. My dad wants to see it.
You're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, it got me shook."
I want to see it. A lot of people make edits on Instagram for it. All right, so now I'm going to take over and talk
Kaliegh and her
about
edits.
The Politician. I do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to talk about The Politician, which is a Netflix series that came out. It's Netflix original. And I talked about it on episode 3 or episode 1, depending on how you start watching this. And I came into it, the trailer just did not give you enough information. Does that make sense?
I
You know
haven't
when you
seen
watch
it,
a
but-
trailer? Like,
Oh,
we just
yeah.
watched the Lighthouse trailer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and
Oh
it
my
doesn't give
gosh.
you, like, really what it's
Well,
about.
that's the great thing about like some of those trailers is that they will not clue you in on what you're going to see.
Yeah.
So it's like a totally like raw and new experience when you're going to see it in the theater, or just like
Yeah.
when you're going to watch it. Well,
I
as long
mean-
as you don't like look up like what is this trailer?
Yeah, no, exactly. The difference between the Lighthouse trailer, if you've seen it,
It looks
it's crazy. But The Politician it's a lot crazier than you'd think. It's set in like modern day. It's about a senior in high school named Peyton who wants to be like senior class president because he thinks that if he's senior class president, then he will be president of the United States. Like he studies up on like other presidents, and he's like, oh well, he was senior class president at his high school, so if I am, then I'll lead up to like being as good as he is. So the intro, they basically make him seem like a robot. The whole intro song is Chicago by Sujin Steffens.
Oh, Sufjan Stevens?
Yeah, there you go.
Such a good song. That entire album, like, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
but,
you're
like,
fine.
Come On Feel the Illinois is such a good album. Like, I'd highly recommend
No,
listening
it was,
to that.
I definitely started listening more, but Chicago, they used Chicago, and the intro's like a long, like body like wooden cutout of Peyton, and they like put like presidential books and like SAT books in it, and just like things that he's programmed like a robot if he was, like all the things he has, and then they like sew him up and they like pour this liquid on him and he turns into a human. So they make him seem like a robot, right? But that's not at all what the show is about.
Have some like big themes.
Yeah, but it's not. It's about like a modern day kid that's a senior in high school, and he's running against his competitor, who's Astrid Salone, and she is like the bad guy, the antagonist. She's like the antagonist in the show. But what I like about Astrid's character, I think she's probably one of my favorite characters, because, well, as they do in a lot of films, they make her the bad guy, and then towards
she's like
the end, you realize that like at home, there's a lot of things wrong with her family. Like, they're very rich. Peyton's rich. Actually, everyone at the school is very rich for some reason. They're just really wealthy. And one of the points that Peyton uses, like, Astrid, you live in like a $15 million house. Like, you can't talk. And she's like, oh, because she has like a tennis court, like basketball. Yeah, all that. So basically she's super rich and wealthy, like her family is. But her mom and dad like hate each other, but they're still married.
So it's like a dysfunctional sort of
thing.
It's like, it seems like the perfect sort of family. Like,
yeah.
They have all this money, but it's just kind of like a darker thing.
Yeah, and she wants to like leave it. She just wants to run away, because she'll do everything she can, like the best to her ability. Like, she plays tennis, and her dad's like, that's not good enough. Sorry.
Have you seen Into the Wild, that
No.
film? I wouldn't say it's like it's like not really too similar, but I just remember it's like about, I think it's based on a true story or something. It's a guy who comes from like a very wealthy family and everything, but he just literally leaves it all behind one day to go live out in nature and everything.
Yeah, that's literally what she wants to do.
It's a really like sad film towards the end, but it's a really like interesting concept, and it's based off a true story. Like, you can actually.
Oh, this is not a true story. Yeah. this one's very
is totally
fictionalized.
True story. You know, these caricatures of people. These are actually real people. Insane.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. This is like a private school, so I don't know. It's a private school, modern day. Everyone's rich, and then there's two people that want to be senior class president. So, back to the thing. So Ricardo is like the comic relief in the show. He's like that one guy that's really dumb, but he's so funny. Like, watching him have these lines, and like the way that he talks, he has like this certain way that he talks that's so funny. And he's dating this girl named Infinity, who Peyton uses as his like, what's it called when you are running for president? Your vice president. Yeah, your vice president. So Peyton uses Infinity because she has cancer, and he's trying to get like sympathy. It kind of sucks because he knows that he's doing that.
It's like an exploitative sort of thing. It's messed up.
And this isn't spoiling it because they talk about this in the show, or in the trailer, kind of. Infinity doesn't have cancer. Her grandmother's just trying to make her seem like she has cancer, so that way she can get free things, like going to Disneyland or free dinner at Olive Garden. Like, they talk about all of that. And Peyton realizes that and goes and tells Infinity that she has, or she's a part, well, would you say she has? She has Munchausen by proxy, which is when someone else is trying to convince you that you're ill or you have like a disease. So, with Infinity and Peyton running together, he realizes she doesn't have cancer, so he kicks her off the vice presidency, and then that's when like the whole thing goes down. The whole story goes down. You find out why Peyton is so like robotic when it comes to being a politician. And then Infinity's has her own storyline that just branches off like in the middle of the show. It's 8 episodes, and they're like an hour long. It's really good. Netflix.
Oh.
It's a Netflix original. And normally I don't like Netflix
Netflix
originals,
are
but
kinda like
they're pretty
I'll have
good.
to check it out though. That sounds really like interesting.
Yeah, and the first episode's kind of crazy. There's like talks of mental health and stuff like that in the first episode, so it gets a little wild, but after that it's kind of calmed us down a little bit. So I would rate this an 8 out of 10, like you rated Joker, because I was expecting it to be good, and it was good, but it was a little crazy. A lot of things happened that you're like, this is a modern day thing, and they're doing all this, but that happens. So now Gavin and I's favorite part of the show, where we talk about the American Music Awards 2019 nominations that came out this morning.
We're gonna be a little bit
critical.
Yeah, we're gonna be a little bit critical.
We're not gonna go through every category
like
because
29
there's 29 categories. But I will tell you that Billie Eilish and Ariana Grande are tied for first place female nominations, and surprisingly, Post Malone has the most male nominations. I don't know.
To that new album. Like,
No, I haven't. I didn't even. When I read that, I didn't believe it.
I was just like,
at
Post
all.
Malone.
But we're gonna get into one category at least that we.
Yeah, we're kind of upset. I wouldn't say upset, but we're just kind of like.
So you do it. You do it.
Okay.
Gavin.
So for favorite album for pop/rock, we have Billie Eilish, Ariana Grande, and Taylor Swift. For rock.
Yeah.
We understand the pop's there, but rock.
I don't understand why pop and rock album are the same. Yeah, I don't get it because none of those are rock, right? That's not just me.
None of those are. I think Billie Eilish could be like considered alternative.
Yeah, I think she is alternative. Like later in the nominations, she's nominated for like alternative pop, but not
like,
alternative
that's pop,
rock.
You know?
I don't know.
It's really crazy. And like I don't want to be one of those guys who's like, you know, popular like rock is dead, because rock is mainly just kind of like gone to not like more underground, but it's like not really like in the spotlight as much as like a lot
rap.
More, like R&B and like rap and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel that there are definitely like still like some chart topping rock artists. Like you considered like even Tame Impala with like his new singles and everything.
Yes.
You know, I'm just
saying.
I
do.
Like he may be considered a little more like, you know, psychedelic pop or like psychedelic indie, but still like there are major like rock influences.
Yeah, and he could have been nominated because Borderland and Patience came out this year.
Right.
And like okay, well first of all, Post Malone is like the top male nomination.
Yeah.
And his stuff, didn't that come out the end of last year or something?
The Bentleys?
Yeah.
No, he released a new album called like Hollywood's Burning recently. And that's the thing, is that like
why.
I was just like,
oh, I thought you were talking about that one. Well, I still think that Kevin Parker could have been nominated because
definitely.
Like he had 2 singles that did well.
And he's so like, I wouldn't say like influential, but he has so much like widespread like popularity in terms of like in respect and like the rap scene. Like he sampled a ton in like a bunch of rap songs.
And he, especially for like Travis Scott and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you have like the rap influences, but you also have like a bunch of he worked with a bunch of pop too, like a bunch of pop stars, right? Like
yeah, I'm trying to think. He's done a lot of like collaborations with people. His name's not like on it all the time, but
still, he even has his own little side project apart from Tame Impala. It's called Pond.
Oh,
he was the drummer for it.
Oh.
But now he produces them.
Well, I saw Kevin Parker a couple weeks ago at ACL
Flex.
front row, and it was amazing. But I still think he should have been nominated, if not for album, for this category, which Gavin is going to explain. You go ahead.
So favorite song for pop and rock.
Still the same category.
Without Me. Lil Nas X featuring Billy Ray Cyrus. Old Town Road. Rock. Jonas Brothers. Sucker. Panic at the Disco. High Hopes. Post Malone featuring Sway Lee.
Literally,
Sunflower.
that song's gonna win.
Yeah.
Only because of, well, maybe Old Town Road will win. But Post Malone, nominated. First of all, they're probably saying that Panic at the Disco is the rock. Like, that's the rock in the category.
Dude,
there's one.
This is rock.
Yeah, like, this is the only one in the category that's rock.
I don't know. I wouldn't really, like, I understand that, like, they have their, alternative rock influences and stuff. But, like, I think that was more, like, the early stuff, The new stuff doesn't really
I
don't listen to Panic at the Disco.
I don't either.
But, like, I just... Like,
I have nothing against Panic at the Disco.
Yeah. The disclaimer, from what I have heard from them, like, High Hopes and stuff, that doesn't really sound like rock. That's, like, more of a pop-oriented sound.
But that's
like,
probably
brass.
what...
I mean, that can be used in rock, but, like, it's, like, more of a brass kind of, like...
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. We're not going to get into the rest of these nominations because they're a little
country.
Not true. There's a lot of country.
A lot of R&B.
There's artist adult contemporary,
What?
which Maroon 5 is nominated for.
And Taylor Swift and Pink.
And
but-
yeah. But Billie Eilish is like artist alternative rock. So I don't know if I'd classify her as alternative rock.
Imagine Dragons.
And Panic at the Disco. See, I told you it was that. But that's pretty much all we want to talk about for the American Music Awards because we
It's
don't want to get off on
kinda-
too many tangents.
And it's just kind of like
It's the
be a
American
lot,
Music
yeah.
Awards. It's not
it's
like the
just billboard
Grammys.
stuff. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be like critically acclaimed unless it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. But critically acclaimed. Opening this weekend in the box office is The Current War. I don't know if have you ever heard of this?
No.
It was supposed to come out, I think it was earlier this year. It has Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Holland in it.
Dang.
I feel like they just put 2 Marvel actors and like we're expecting this big outcome. It's
Okay.
about Thomas Edison.
Oh, cool. Yeah, have you
Yeah.
seen The Imitation Game?
No,
Like,
but
with-
I've heard of
It's
it.
just like Benedict Cumberbatch in another historical role and everything. What did you say it was about again?
The Current War.
Oh, Thomas Edison?
Yeah.
It seems that he's in a lot of like science. I feel that like Cumberbatch has like this kind of like intellectual kind of typecast and everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Doctor Strange is.
He's like an intellectual.
Yeah. He knows everything.
But that's really cool though. Like I think that's just like a big compliment. Like just to
Yeah.
have your typecast be like.
I wasn't
geniuses.
expecting Tom Holland to be in it.
Yeah.
He has sideburns.
Everyone's
Very fake looking sideburns. Yeah.
Is he Edison?
No. I don't know. I haven't read too much
we'll have
into
to see.
it,
We'll have to
but
see.
I do know that the Rotten Tomatoes score did terrible. Is in 60s.
Dang.
And then the well, I guess that's not terrible.
It's just kind of like average.
But yeah, but the critics were like, "This movie's a bore." I read 3 articles where they said bore, like this movie is a bore. I mean, it's an hour and like 47 minutes long. It's not very long. And then the last movie that is hitting the box office this weekend is The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
That looks scary.
We really want to see that.
That looks scary.
It looks really cool.
It's really cool.
I think
like,
it's all in black and
Yeah. That's
Wait,
the
was
thing.
it?
It was all in black and white.
yeah, I think it's all in black and
It's
white.
one of those A24 kind of artsy films. And all,
Yeah,
you know?
I think it'll do good. The scoring was a 99%.
Yeah, that just might be a little bit decent.
Yeah.
You know? But
So-
it looked amazing, especially like Willem Dafoe is a great actor.
It looks creepy, but like
those shots too. Do you
Yeah.
see that stairwell shot of the light?
mhm.
It's crazy.
They basically live in a lighthouse,
Mhm.
2 of them,
It's like a psychological.
and that's
horror,
all
I
you can
feel,
tell from the
for real.
trailer. That's really it.
Yeah.
But it looks terrifying. I don't know if there's gonna be jump scares or anything. I think it's just like
It's just gonna be like
mind
unnerving.
games. Yeah, like Us. Well, there's
Or
jump scares in
Hereditary.
there. Or it'll probably be like Hereditary.
Mhm.
Well, that is all we have today. Thank you, Gavin, for being the first guest on Joyride.
Yes,
So
this is an
proud of
honor.
you. Thank you for watching. Next, I might be filming next week. If I do, I'm probably going to review my thoughts on the Joker because I think I'm seeing it this weekend. And then Gavin and I might go see The Lighthouse.
That sounds
So,
really fun.
and I really want to review that because it looks really good. So, come back to see episode 6 if you want to. I'll be here. Vandegrift Media Productions. Come see. And thank you for watching. Woo!
Come here to me, boy. Don't come here. Take my words with a grain of salt. 'Cause remember, honey, you can fall.